Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, listen to LOP.
I want to confirm it's coming to 8:15. This is the day the Lord has made. It could easily go down in infamy in this 11th Parliament. Honorable Speaker, unlike so many debates here with bills, this is all an ordinary debate, and the issues are not very difficult to comprehend. When I listened to my brother and old friend, the Honorable Chwanuka, I thought initially I went to the wrong school of economics. Then when he further made his submissions of the report, I thought I never went to law school. I almost requested as a point of procedure to ask the members of the committee to rise up that we can applaud them for this report. That it bears both the majority and minority, and it's both signed by the same people. If you read the last 3 pages, it is the biggest pack of contradictions I've ever witnessed for the last 11 years I've been on this floor, right, Honourable Speaker. And I want to invite the honourable gentleman and chairperson, when she goes home, to read the report. Probably he'll have occasion to come back and say, Mea Krupa, Mea Krupa. Right, Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Minister of Finance has laid the basics to us, namely that actually in the circumstances he doesn't even have knowledge of the shareholders of ROKO at the moment. He can only be speculative, because that's what due diligence gives you. At the moment, he has notice of allotment. He doesn't have allotted shares. So it is really notice, and the notice does not mean allotment of shares. Only notice is available. It's not a confirmation of allotment. And for me, Right Honourable Speaker, why I said this day could go out in infamy for this Parliament, the government has a right to donate. Actually, the Minister of Finance can come here and make a plea for a donation to ROKO. But for me to be a part of a conversation that this is business, and therefore I am part of discussing business, this cannot be business. It can only be a debate for a donation. And therefore, when you want a donation or a grant, you are honest about your challenges. To which, Right Honourable Speaker, some of the reports available show that ROKO has over $1 trillion in contracts. The same company has over 700 billion in already performing contracts. The same company has arrears owed by government over 179 billion. But it only needs 207. Right Honourable Speaker, on 20th September 2021, the President wrote to the Minister of Finance to pay ROKO 17.87 billion on account of money owed to ROKO by the government of South Sudan. And I think the ministry complied. In fact, this report is part of the reports of the Nagulan report. There is a report of Parliament, it's available. It won't be the first time Government is doling out public funds to ROKO for a song. So this house should not be invited in a duplicity. If it is a grant, it is a grant. And we should discuss terms of a grant. Not business. This is not the way business is done. I am sure there are so many economists and lawyers in this building and accountants. They must be ashamed of debating this as business. That we go for preferential shares in a company. Who doesn't know the implication of being a preferential shareholder? You have no powers to vote. You are only given a preference because when the company makes profit, you have the first call only on dividends. And this company, where the vote holders have power, can declare zero dividends for the next century. See? So we should not really be invited on this really we should not really embarrass ourselves as members of parliament. Right, Honourable Speaker. We have already made mistakes as a country. We have precedents of shares we have held in Achaka Sugar, in Speak Resort Munyonyo. They are loss-making companies, and they have governance challenges. And they are there on those boards, and we have failed to influence them. What's new about this particular transaction, Right, Honourable Speaker? Right, Honourable Speaker, there was no independent verification of indebtedness, and the minister has conceded that we do not know the extent of indebtedness of ROKO. Meaning that there is a possibility that the debt burden is understated. High possibility. And you see, I don't even know the owners of ROKO. We thank them for what they have done for this country. We are not here to begrudge them. We are only here to execute a public duty. And this public duty is not political. So I'd like to invite friends across that we ask that the minister humbly goes back and act neater. This is ugly. I want to return to make the same statement that if we are recoil, this is a day in infamy for this house. Honourable members. Right, Honourable Speaker, to be consequential in my submission, I would like to move under Rule 59K for a motion without notice